Hello guys, welcome back everyone. How are you all? I hope you all are fine and I hope you all are enjoying my videos very well. So what we have done in previous session, we had done two topics on vector, that is what is vector clone and what is vector clear, and we had also done two more example of vector clear method, and as well as vector two more example of vector clone method. We have done this type of program in previous session, and now today we are going to discuss about vector contains all method and vector contains. So these two type of topic we will discuss today, and we will do three example of vector containers and one example of vector contains. So let's see how to do this. So first of all, we have to discuss its theory. After that, we will go through program. So for theory, we will open Chrome. So first of all, I will open Chrome for understanding the concept about vector contains all method and vector contains what is the syntax and uh, what the definition and how to do this program. We will discuss all about this thing in today's session. So let's see what is vector contain all method. So first of all, we will open Visual Studio Code. Sorry, not visual. Here we write vector in Java, and we will open Java T point website, and here we see a definition and syntax of Java vector contains all method. 1 minute wait. Actually, phone is come. Okay, where we are? Actually, phone has come, so that's why I resume my videos. So let's continue again. Now, first of all, we will see vector contains. You see, vector contains all topic. Now click it on, and here you understand the concept about vector contains all method. So what it is? Java vector contains all method. The contains all method of Java class is used to vector which is in use contains all of the element in the specified collection. It returns true if this vector contains all of the element in the collection, otherwise return false. Okay, have you understand concept? I hope you understand. And we will see what the syntax is. The following is the declaration of contains all method. It is public boolean contains all collection less than question mark greater than c. Do you know what is boolean? If you I hope you know about it. The boolean is a statement, or boolean is a data type. It's also data type in any programming language, like in C, Java, PHP, for Python, in any type. These are data type, and it states that the whether a statement is true, whether a statement is false. It basically declares the statement true or false. Whether a statement is true, if I suppose I take a zero statement, and another suppose I take one statement. So zero statement is true will show true, and first it is a statement will show false. It's mean that boolean basically means that the statement showing of the true or false of a statement. That's the work for boolean. And now we will continue again. What is parameter? Parameter is C. Description. It is a collection whose element will be tested for containment in the vector which is in use. Which is in use. It is required, and let's see what it returns. So returns is the contains all method returns true if this vector contains all of the element in the specified collection. Okay, now we will see what is the exception. Null pointer exception. This method is thrown as an exception if the specified collection is null. If the what is null? You know what is null? Null is basically called empathy. You know what is null? Null is basically called empathy. Now, now that's the topic here. That's the theory for vector contains, and now we are going to discuss about three example of vector contains all method, and after that we will go through vector contains. So first of all, we have to discuss. First of all, we have to do three more example of vector contains. After that, we will go through vector contains. So how to do the how to do this program of vector contains all method. So let's see how to do this. So for doing the, I will open Visual Studio Code here. Visual, click on new window for creating a new file, because if you want to create a new file, then you could create it, or if you don't want to create a new file, then don't worry. You can create in your existing file, because but like to say that creating a new file is better than sorry, creating a new file or creating a program in existing file is better than creating a new file. Sorry, I interchange the words. I mean that creating a new file is better than to creating an existing file, creating a program in existing file, because in some situations someone asks that please show me the, if you suppose you that if you had done your program in existing file in your if you had done your program in existing file, and somebody asks that show me this file or show me this program. So if suppose that you forget it about your program file name, and after that what you will do, you you can't show him, you can't show them, because you just forget your file name. So that's why we must have to create a new file name, or we must have to create new file, because it is helpful for us. Because if you create a new file, and suppose that if you had given your file name xyz abc xyz, suppose you gave your name of your file, and if you remember, if you have remembered your file, then you can easily then you can show in easily way. Suppose that if somebody asks that please show me this file, but at that time, if you had remembered your file, then you can show your file in easily, because your file is safely and you had done successfully named. So that's why we must have to create a new file here. Okay, so I will create here vector 33.java, because I had done vector 32 programs on uh, 32 programs on vector, so that's why I create vector 33, because you must have to know that creating a new file, creating a same file can't take Visual Studio, can't take Java in Java language, because if you had done your vector 33, suppose that if you had done vector 33 program, or if you had given your name already before, and you want to create a new file and you will give here vector 33, but your file could not save. Because why? Because you had already done vector 33 file name. So that's why it can't take same existing file. So we must have to create a different existing file name. Okay, it is better. It is better than for us. So I will create here vector33.java. Now enter it. Now save this file, and after saving this file, what we have to write it here? We have to write it package format of we have to write package format, because if you don't write this format, then your program does not does not compile. Your program will show error. So you must have to write package format, that is vector sorry, import java.util.star semicolon. That is a package format. If you don't put this format, then your program will does not compile. Your program will show error. So we must have to put the statement while you are creating a vector program. And it is also important for creating a user's program. So that's why we must have to put this statement while you are creating a vector program, while you're creating a user's program. So you must have to create import java java.util.star semicolon. Now enter it, and now create class name. So here I write what my class name, that is vector 33. Any type of any name I will give my class name here. So I give here vector 33. Now here you write public static void main string args, and after writing this statement, what you have to write? What you have to write the statement? If you remember it, you have to write vector format. What is the vector format? If you are remembering, then what is it? The vector format is, I write here vector. After that, I take again. You must have to remember these small things. That is, again, vector of v is in capital. You must have to remember these things. This is small thing, because if you don't remember this, you can't make your program better. You can't make your program in successful way. So you must have to put vector format of vector is in capital. Okay, that is in capital letter. After that, taking a less than sign, you write it here, string, again string of s in capital, because if you don't put this small thing, then your program will does not compile. Your program will show error. So we must have to put this Small things, small. We must have to remember these things. Okay. Now after that you take greater than sign, and here you write VC is equal to new. After that you write here again you take a string, again a string of acid in capital, a string. Here you write here you take bracket, and now you take a string. Sorry, semicolon. Again, you must have to remember this string of acid in capital. You must have to remember this thing. But there is a showing red line error. Why? You must have to check this string. Oh, I don't write it a vector. Again, vector of is in capital. You must have to remember this thing. Now here I write a vector string. Now after that, completing this statement, what you have to write? You have to write vector addition. That is VC. VC means vector. That's the short name for vector. VC dot add, and here you write, here you take bracket, and here you take inverted comma, and here you write in the inverted comma, like I take any type of social media name, like I take Facebook. Now you put semicolon. After that, again you take VC dot add, and here you take WhatsApp. Now you put the semicolon. After completing this, you here you take again VC dot add, and here you take Instagram. After completing this statement, you put the semicolon again. Now, after completing this statement, again you have to take vector format. You have to take array list format. So what is it format? Let's see what is it format. So here I take a list of SL is in capital. You must have to remember this because while you are writing a vector format, the starting of vector format is in capital letter. So that is starting of vector format is list. So list of my L is in capital. After that, I write here string, again string of S is in capital. A string. Now you take greater than sign, and here I write list is equals to new array. Again array of A is in capital. You must have to remember these things. Array list. Now here you write string, again string of S is in capital. Now here you take greater than sign, and here you take brackets. Now you put semicolon. After completing this statement, what you have to write? By so okay. Now after completing this statement, you have to write list addition. That is vector addition also called. So I have to write list addition. List dot add. Again you write here Facebook. Now you put semicolon. Again, you write here list dot add. Here you write WhatsApp. Now you will put semicolon. After completing this, you have to print your all. You have to print your list. You have to print your what I have to say, huh? You have to print your list addition elements. So I will write here print statement. The print statement is again system of s is in capital system dot out dot println. You must have to remember this. Again, system of s is in capital because if you don't put this statement system of s in capital, your program will does not compile. So we must have to remember this small thing that is system of acid in capital and the vector format. So system dot out dot println. After that, I write here does vector contains all list element. Does vector contain all list of element? Now after completing it, you have to write here plus vc dot contains all. Now here you write list. Now you put semicolon. After that completing this, what you have to write here? You have to write again vector addition, list addition. That is list add. Now here I take any name, any type of name. Here I take my name. So I take Saurabh, Saurabh. After that, put semicolon. Now, after completing this, you what you have to write? You have to print your vector. You have to print your last vector addition, last list addition. So that is sort of the list add sort of. You have to print this. So we have to write print statement that is system again system of s is in capital system dot out dot println. After that, you write here does vector contains all list element. Does vector contain all list element? Uh, you write here. After that, you will take. Now here you write VC dot contains all. Now you write here list. Now you put semicolon. उसके बाद after that I have to write? We have to write now. My program is completed. After that, what we have to do? We have to check it whether it is successful or not. For checking, we have to compile it, and after that, we have to run this. So for compilation, you use terminal option, new terminal, or whether else you can also use CMD, that is command promote. You can search it from your start search bar. Here is it. You can search it here. That is CMD, that is command promote. So we have to compile it first. So first of all, we have to write compiling format. After that, we have to take file name for compilation, because it is most important while you are compiling your program. So file name is most important. File name is taken for compilation. So you have to write Java C, that is compiling for it, and here you write your file name, that is file name vector33 dot java, and I write here vector 33 dot java. Now enter it, and now wait for few seconds for compilation. You see that my program is successfully compiled. Now after that, what we have to do, we have to run this program. So for running, you have to take class name for running your program. So that is my class name vector33. And okay, 1 minute wait. Okay, where we are? So continue again. So we are running this program. So for running, I write here Java, and I take class name for running, because class name must taken for running your program. So I take vector33, that is my class name here. Okay, you must have to remember this. Now enter it, and now wait for few seconds. Now vector contain all list element, that is true. Okay, first first print statement is, that is true, because it contains WhatsApp contains in my vector first addition, so that is true. But Saurabh does not contain, so that is false. That is so false. So that's why if I take any number, like I take 1, 2, 3, and here I take 3, 2, and here I write 5. So what we have to, true or false? What we have to see, that is true or false. So that is 3 or 2 will show true, and 5 will does not show true, that it show false, because 5 does not contain in my vector first addition. Okay, so that's why 5 show error, sorry, 5 show false. So from this way, that is Facebook, WhatsApp, so in my first vector addition, and in my list addition, that is Facebook, WhatsApp contains same as, but Saurabh does not contains in my first vector addition, so that's why we show false here. Okay, we show false here. So from this way, you could also print any type of vector addition example. Sorry, vector contains all method example. That is my first example of my vector contains. And now we will like to go through my second example of vector contains all method. So let's see how to do this program. So for doing this, I will create another file, because that is better for us. So I write here vector 34.java. Now enter it, and now save this file. And after that, what you have to write, you have to write your package format, that is import java.util.star semicolon, because that is most important while you are creating a vector program or a user's program. So you must have to write this statement. Remember these things. Okay, so I write import Java dot util dot star semicolon. Now take class name. So I write here class and I take here vector 34 and now I take curly bracket and now here I take public static void main and here I take a string args. Now you take curly bracket again. After completing this statement, what you have to write? You have to write the vector format. So what is the vector format? Vector format is again vector of origin capital while you are writing vector format. So again you must have to write this thing vector of origin capital again integer of I is in capital. And now after that, I take greater than sign, and here I take a vector 1 is equals to new. Then vector of base in capital. You have to remember this thing. Now here I take again integer of I is in capital. Now you take greater than sign. After that, you take a bracket and now take semicolon. After completing this statement, what you have to write? You have to write vector addition format. So what is vector addition format? That is vector 1 dot add and now here I take any number 11 with semicolon. Again you take vector 1 dot add. Again here I take here I write uh, here I write 22. Now you put semicolon. Now after that you write here vector 1 dot add. Again here you take 33. Now you put semicolon in the bracket. After that you take here again vector 1 dot add. Now you take you write here 44. Now you sorry 44 in the bracket. Now put semicolon. And now after completing this statement, you have to write again vector format. So again you have to write vector format. So what is it? Again vector of base in capital while you are writing a vector format, you must have to remember this thing. Vector vector again integer of is in capital integer. After that I write a vector 2 is equals to new. Again vector of base in capital, you must have to remember this thing. Vector you take again less than sign and here I write integer. You take a greater than sign and here you write a bracket in, and here you take semicolon. Now after that you have to write vector addition for your second vector format. So I write it here vector q dot add. Now here you write 22. Now put semicolon. After that, oh, okay. Now after that, again you take a vector 2 dot add, and now here you write vector 3 and now you put semicolon. After completing this statement, you have to write your second vector form. You have to print your second vector format vector. You have to print your second vector addition. You have to print your all element of second vector format. Okay. So I write here print statement, that is system dot out dot println, again system as in capital, because while you are writing the system dot out dot println, again you must have to remember this thing, that is system of s is in capital, because if you put your system of s is in small, then your program will does not compile, your program will show error. So that's why we must have to write system of s is in capital letter. Okay. If you write in small, then the program does not compile. The program will show errors. So we must have to remember this small things. Okay. Now I write a system dot out dot println, and now after that I write here existence like 1 minute. Okay, continue again. So I write here existence vector 1 dot contains vector 1 dot contains, and now here write all. Again you must have to remember this thing, small thing, that is all of a is in capital. That is all of a is in capital, because if you don't put this small things, then your program will does not compile. If you put this all of age in small, so your program will does not compile, your program will show error. So you must have to remember this thing, is you must have to put all of age in capital letter. Okay. So after that, what you have to write? After that you have to write vector 2. You put semicolon. After completing this, you have to write again vector addition. So I write here vector 2 dot add, and here I take any number, I take 101. Now you put semicolon, and after that you have to print your again last vector. You have to print your last vector addition, that is vector 2 dot, this is vector addition. You have to print this statement. So what you for printing, what you have to write, you have to write print statement for printing again system of acid in capital. Okay, system dot out, while you are writing the print statement, you have to remember this thing, system dot out dot println. After that you write existence existence plus vector 1 dot contains, again all of is in capital. You must have to remember this, I told you already, I told you in my first print statement, that is here, that is here. And here you take bracket and you write here vector 2 and now you put semicolon, and this program is completed. What I told you in my first program, that is, if you take any number, that I told you that I had taken 1, 2, 3 or 4, 1, 2, 3, and here I take 3 or 2, and here I take 5. So 5 is so false and 2, 3 is so true, because 2, 3 exists in my first vector addition. So that's why 2, 3 is so true, and 5 is so false because it does not exist in my first vector addition. It is similar to this statement. Let's see for whether it is successful or not. So for checking, I write here compile format, that is Java C compile, and after that you have to take file name for compilation, that is a file name vector 34. So I write to vector 34.java. Now enter it and wait for few seconds for compilation. Now you see that my program is successfully compiled. Now after that, what we have to write, what we have to do, we have to run your program. For running, your class name is taken, that is my class name vector 34. So I write here vector 34 and now enter it. See that existence. Now my first this statement this statement so true, because that's exist in my first vector addition, but this statement so false because it does not exist in my first vector addition. I told you in my first program that is similar to this program, similar. So that's why. So from this way you could also print any type of vector addition, any type of, sorry, vector contains all method. And now discuss we are going to do third example of vector contains all method. After that we will like to go through vector contains only. Now let's see what is vector. Now let's see what is the third example of vector contains all methods. For creating, I create a new file here and I write here vector 35 and dot java. Now enter it and now save this file. And after the saving this file, what you have to write package format, that is import java dot util dot start semicolon, because this statement you have to remember this thing, because while you are creating a vector program, then you have to remember this thing. You have to put this statement when you are creating. You must have to put, first of all you have to put this statement. After that you take class name, and because while you are creating your vector program, so you must have to put this system, you must have to remember this. Now after that I take class name here, and after that I write here class vector 35, and now I take curly bracket, and now I write here public static void main, and you take here this string, you write here this string arch. After that you take curly bracket, and after that you write here, and after that what you have to write the vector format, that is vector, again vector of reason capital vector. Must have to remember this while you are writing vector format, that is vector of reason capital letter, and again integer of as in capital letter. Now you take greater than sign, and here you write vector 1, is equals to new. Again, vector of b is in capital letter. After that, you write here again integer of I is in capital. Now you take greater than sign, and here you write null. I told you what is null. Null is basically called empathy. Empathy. Okay, null is the meaning of empathy. Okay, you have to remember this. Now after that, what I write here? I write vector. Again, I write here vector format, and I write here vector. Again, vector of vision capital. While you are writing a vector format, you must have to remember this thing. Now again, I take here. Again, I write here integer. Again, integer of I is in capital. After that, you have to write the vector 2 is equals to new. Again, vector of base in capital. You must have to remember this thing. And again, write an integer of I is in capital. After that, I write a bracket and now you put semicolon. After completing this statement, I have to print. I have to write. We have to write uh, s- print statement for my vector format. So I write here that what is a print statement? That is system.out.println. Again, system of s is in capital while you are printing, while you are writing print statement. You must have to remember this system of s in capital system.out.println. After that, here I write at distance plus 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 vc plus not VC plus I write here vector 1 vector 1 dot contains, and again I write here contains all methods. So again all contains of all of A is in capital. You must have to remember this all, and here I write vector 2. After that, complete this statement. Now you put semicolon. Now my program is completed. Now what we have to do? We have to check it whether it is compiled or not. For checking, what you have to use? You have to use what you have to first of all you have to compile it. So for compilation, your file name is taken, that is vector35.java. So I write here vector35.java because file name is most important for compilation. Now and now wait for a few seconds for compiling. And where we got a problem here? We got a problem in what is, oh, I had written a vector of b is in small, so that's why we got a error here. Okay, and I now save this file again and now compile again. So you see that my program is successfully compiled. Now after that, what we have to do? What we have to run this program. So for running, your class name is taken. For running your program, that is my class name vector 35. So I write a vector 35 and now enter it. You see that my program is successfully printed. So from this way, you could also print any type of example of vector contains all method. So that's it stuff. That's the vector contain all method theory and program. And now we are going to discuss about what is vector contains. So first of all, we have to discuss the definition. We have to discuss its theory. We have to discuss syntax. After that, we will go through one example of vector content, and after that, we will end up the sheet. And we will discuss more example of more topic of vectors in next session. So first of all, we will understand the concept of vector contain. So I open vector contains, and after that, I write what if first of all we have to understand this concept, that is Java vector contains method. The contains method of Java vector class is used to check the vector which is in use contains the specified element or not. It returns true if this vector contains the specified element, otherwise return false. Okay, I hope you understand this concept. Now we will discuss what is syntax. Following is the declaration of contains method. That is public boolean contains object O. I told you that is what is boolean. Boolean is basically so the statement whether it is true or false. That's the word for boolean. And now we will see what is parameter. Parameter is O, and description. Description is it is the element whose presence in this vector will test it. It is required and will see returns. The contains method returns true if this vector contains the specified element. Otherwise, return false. And I hope you understand this concept. That's the concept, that's the theory for vector content. And now we would like to go through the one example of last example of vector, last example for today, and one example of vector contains. So let's see how to do this example, how to do this program. So for doing it, I will create another file also. So here I write vector 36 36.java, enter it and now save this file. After saving this file, what we have to write? You have to write package format, that is import java.util.star semicolon. You must have to remember this thing while you are creating a vector program, because package format is most important while you are creating a vector program. You must have to remember this thing. I told you many time also. Okay. Now, after that, I write here class name and I take here vector 36, and now I take curly bracket and now I write here public static void main. I write here string args, and after that you take here curly bracket, and after writing this statement, what you have to write? You have to write vector format. So what is it vector format? You must have to remember this thing. Okay. So vector format is vector of base in capital. Again, you must have to remember this thing. Now you take write the string, again string of s is in capital letter, and after that you write vec is equals to new, again vector of base in capital vector. Now you take less than greater than sign, and here you take a bracket and you put semicolon. After completing this statement, you have to write vector addition, that is vec dot add, and here I write python, and you put semicolon. Again you write vec dot add, and now here write java, and now you put semicolon. Again you write vec dot add, and after that you put an inverted comma, and here you write cobel, you put semicolon. Now again you write vec dot add. After that you write ruby, You put semicolon. After that, what you have to write, you have to take if statement, if else statement. So what is it if else statement? We had also discussed in I think session 3 or 4 we had discussed in what is if else statement. So please go through this video. I hope you will got helpful for if else statement. You will understand the if else statement concept. So please go through this my session 4 video. So please go through this video, and after that I write that if back dot contains, and here I write Java. After that you write a curly bracket. After completing this, what you have to write, you have to print your if statement. So you have to write print statement, that is system of as in capital. You must have to remember this while you are writing print statement. System dot out dot println. Now after that you write here Java is present at the index. After that you take care this vac index again, and while you are writing index, so you must have to write off of origin capital, because this is important. While you are writing index, you must have to write off of origin capital, because if you don't write off origin capital, then your program will show error, your program will does not compile. So we must have to write off of origin capital. And after that you write they write take write here inverted comma, and here you write Java. After that you write you put a semicolon, and now after completing this you write an else statement. So I write here, I take again curly bracket, and I have to print my else statement. So I have to write print statement for my else statement. So that is system, again system of s in capital. While you are writing a print statement, system dot out dot println, and now here you write Java is not present in the list. After completing this statement, what you have to write? You put semicolon. Now after that, this program is completed, and now after that, what we have to do? We have to compile this program. So for compiling, we have to write compiling format, and after that we have to take class name for compilation, because that is most important while you are compiling your program. So class name much important for compilation, that is vector36.java, vector36.java, and now enter it, and now wait for 2 seconds for compilation. Where we got a problem here, we got a problem here where we have fact, I think I got a problem here. Okay, now save this file, and now compile again. You see that my program is successfully compiled. Now after that, what we have to do? We have to check whether it is run or not. For checking, you have to write Java, and after that you take class name for checking because that is most important while you are running a program. So for class name most important that is vector. Uh, 36. Here is the class name. You must have to remember this and now enter it and let's see whether it is printed or not. Yes. Java is present at index 1. So that is successfully created, that is successfully compiled and run. So from this way, you could also print any type of vector contains all method, any type of vector contains. So from this way, you could also print any type of example from from this way. So that's it for today. I hope you like my videos. I hope you enjoyed my videos very well. If you like it, then please like, subscribe, and comment me. If you got any problem, then please comment me. I will help you out. And if you also got any problem uh, in theory as well as in program, then I will provide you a website link in my description. Then please go through this website link, and that is Java 3 point. I will give you link in my description. Please go through this link, and that's it. So please like, subscribe, please like my videos, subscribe my channel, and share my videos to everyone so that anyone can see my videos. So that's it. Thank you. Have a nice day. We will meet in next session. Bye bye. Take care.